my god. What's up, guys? It has been a while since I've actually filmed the in-car video, and I decided that what better way on a nice Wednesday that I'm off on. It's at the post office right now, dropping off your guys' orders. I appreciate everyone for the orders. I try to get them out fast as I can. If you guys haven't checked out my Big Cartel site, I do got new stuff up there, so thanks for checking it out and thanks for supporting your boy. Now today what we're gonna be talking about is, oh, that was all bad. Now today what we're gonna be talking about is why I reverted back to this stock setup that I'm driving right now, the stock B18C5 ITB. I still get comments on my older videos about my ITB setup, and I no longer have that setup anymore. I decided to make a video explaining to you guys, and what better way is an in-car video, which I used to make a lot. All you OG subscribers do know that I used to make a lot of in-car videos in my old silver coupe, and hopefully it's not as, actually I think my coupe was louder. This has full interior, so hopefully that mic doesn't catch up everything. I have the AC running right now because it's kind of hot. Main reason why I went back to the stock B16 setup was because it's just so much more reliable. And I mean, I'm not saying that you can have a built motor that's reliable. I've seen built motors that are reliable. It's just my setup, my current setup that I had on the C5, it had a 12 to 5:1 compression, it had ITBs, cams and everything. It made 200 to the wheels and then 150 torque. It's just that it wasn't ideal for cruising with all my homies. It was for like a good whole year, but then after that, it just decided to kind of take a shit. I decided to take a shit, and I just was trying to, you know, find my ways around trying to fix the issue. I replaced the TPS twice because for some reason it kept going out, and then to fix the issue a little bit, I had my friend John come over and fix the tune, and it still gave me issues after like a year. Because what happens is on ITBs, especially if you're not running Kinsler, and there's like a lot of brands ITBs. There's Toyota, TWM, or Borland Induction, that's what it was called. You also have Kinsler, which I heard is actually really, really good, and also Genv. If you ever do ITB setup, I would recommend going Kinsler or Genv. I've seen people have no issues with those. And then just on mine, I think what happened was the butterflies, they go out of sync after some time, so you have to get them resynced. Also, having ITBs, you have to get the car tuned properly, and if the tune's out of whack, get a retune. I mainly did the ITBs after my Japan trip. When I went to Japan, I got inspired to do ITBs. There's all the shops you go to in Japan. So we're talking about ASM, Spoon, Feels, what else? A lot of the like tuner shops, like Honda tune shops, there's all NA ITBs. And you can't go wrong with the sound of ITBs. They sound so good when you smash on it. And they don't like being cruised on. They only like being wide throttle, pretty much, you know, just doing pulls all day. And driving on the highway with the ITBs, if I'm cruising in 5th gear and I let go of the gas for like, let's say like 10 seconds, and I knock it into neutral and then brake, the car will actually shut off. Because what happens is on the ITBs, I think it gets flooded with fuel, and then you have to brap the gas to clear the throttle bodies out because it's dumping so much fuel in. But it could just be because of my tune. That was actually one reason why I actually got rid of it too, because cruising in traffic and then you having to, you know, slam on the brakes out of nowhere, the car could shut off and then you lose your brakes. On the ITBs, it doesn't you have to get a vacuum box from like Vibrant or Golden Eagle. You run a vacuum line from each runner into the vacuum box, so you have brakes if you want to keep your brake booster. Or what you can do is delete your brake booster and, you know, have a brake booster delete. I think the beginning, or actually around this time of last year, well no, the beginning of last year, we did a New Year's cruise, just for fun New Year's cruise, and We cruised up to Mount Julian, which if you guys know, or if you guys are local, that's like a mountain. After it rains, it does snow up there. There is snow. And we were cruising up there. The car was fine, but as we started getting to a higher altitude, the car didn't want to drive right. It literally just kept turning off. Check engine light popped up. I forgot what it was for, but a lot of stuff was happening to the car. It just didn't want to stay on, so I had to keep smashing on the gas just to get it home. After I left Julian, where it was like snowing, it was like super cold, the car started acting normal. Stopped by and, you know, get food with my brother, and then I decided to say fuck it and pull the motor out. Picked up this B18C5 from some junkyard out in Florida on eBay, and I can't be any happier. I did a full rebuild on it. Piston rings, rod bearings, thrust bearings, every single hose. Did everything on it that I could get from the catalog through Honda. And here I am now, still driving it. I put a lot of miles on it. This setup, I think, seen probably like, it's not even a lot of miles, like probably 4,000 or 5,000 already. I've driven this up to LA multiple times. I've driven this all the way up to Fresno and back same day. That was like 12 hours. Holy crap, that's long. And dude, I can't be any happier with this setup. This car feels really, really good. And I'm only saying that because it's stock. It's just so much easier to drive. It doesn't give me any issues, and it's perfect. This setup's actually what I wanted with the C5. So I wanted it barred, but getting that motor barred, that C5, it's not easy. A lot of people don't understand that you need in order for you to bar a USDM C5, especially a 2001 motor, you have to run the ITR ECUs. So we're talking about USDM ITR ECU, which are pretty hard to find. You can find JDM all day. USDM is rare, and also they're pretty expensive, and you have to run a full OBD2B setup. So you have a better chance of doing a C5 and a EM1 SI, because that's already a OBD2B. You just have to, you know, have all the correct stuff on that car. In my C5, I was missing a lot of stuff, missing the emission stuff. No, I still have the intake manifold. And that motor was 12 out of 1, so I highly doubt if I put a catalytic converter on, it will not pass smog at all. And I didn't want to risk it, so I decided to sell that setup and picked up this motor, and now it's barred legally for California and can't be in happier. Now I'm just cruising around, you know. If I get pulled over, I have nothing to worry about. Honestly, I'll probably get pulled over for my front plate or my exhaust. I do have a different exhaust on there. It's like a Buddy Club Spec 2. Same similar setup, Zero Fighter, all the same stuff. And I do have a silencer on the car. Without the silencer, it's kind of loud. I love this thing though. Nothing beats having the stock motor. I mean, there's gonna get a lot. This video is gonna get mixed reviews, you know. I know there's a lot of people that have built motors that daily drive their cars, but it's just for me, I had a C5, but it had ITBs. Daily driving with ITBs is not ideal, and cruising, you know, stoplight to stoplight to stoplight with ITB setup, this sucks. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with the audio, because I've noticed that this mic kind of jiggles, and I need to strap it down or something, because I feel like that's gonna mess with the audio. So I apologize if the audio sounds like crap, but I'm actually on my way to get some food, and I need to go pull over real quick and check on my lip. I think it's hanging. Damn, that's going in the video. There goes my synchros. This car definitely is not as fast, or this setup is not as fast on my C5, but I enjoy this thing more. I banged this off limber, and I just know it's, you know, it's reliable. If you guys didn't know, my C5, I actually bought it built. I already knew what was in it, but I wasn't sure about how well the motor was built. So that was one thing too that was kind of sketchy at one point. And this one, since I rebuilt it myself with my pops, dude, it's solid, dude. It's so solid. Come on. Hell, there's a bus stop right here? That is so random. What time is it? Alright, 11:28. I think my lip's like fucked. this B16 setup, it is paired with a B16 trans. So pretty much what you get out of E01, but this car does have this transmission does have a Synchrotech carbon synchro set, and has a Quaife LSD in it. And then also, to make this car rev a little bit faster, I did transfer over my flywheel setup. So we're talking about my 8.5 pound XZD flywheel and my stage 1 XZD clutch. So it's pretty much just a stock B16, but it does kind of, you know, get down a little bit. Well, not really, it's kind of slow, but oh yeah, and I'm still running a catalytic converter on the car, a JDM cat. So it is a 2.5-inch cat. It's just so the car doesn't like smell, because, well, actually the car doesn't even smell even without the cat. Well, that's not too bad. I just kind of hate having my car being stinky. But before, I didn't have this boot down here, so when I was driving, I could always smell all the fumes from my old test pipe. That's why I recommend people weld their test pipe, so you don't get any like crazy like smells that will make you nauseous while driving. I feel like this video is kind of all over the place, because kind of talking and driving is a little bit hard, especially talking to a camera, not an actual person. Quick explanation: the C5 with ITBs, just driving it wasn't practical. It started giving me issues after a year, and then a year and a half in, it was getting worse and worse and worse. Replaced the TPS multiple times. I think that TWM ITB setup, it kind of kills the TPS, and it shares the same TPS as like a GM or something. It's like some weird 3-pin connector one that you can buy on eBay. Oh my god, my lips smashed. And it was on E85. That thing was guzzling gas. That thing was not fuel efficient at all. And this right here, this regular pump 91 stock, you know, small little things for the transmission and the crank to rev a little faster, and it's just, yeah, it's reliable. It's just a fun little setup that I could just enjoy. Can't be any more happy with this setup. I just enjoy the car more. I drive the car a lot more. Before, I think a lot of my friends like know that I don't want to take my old setup out because it was giving me issues, and I was always telling them like, dude, I have issues with my setup, and they always be blaming me as that I have an excuse I don't want to drive my car. But in reality, it was a huge issue on the ITBs. Some days the car wants to act perfectly fine, the next day it just acts like it just doesn't want to work. That's just the downside about having ITBs, or just like built, I don't want to say built more than general, just the ITBs were just, they weren't trash. Well, actually they were trash. TWM were trash. Get a Kinsler and you'll be happy with your setup. Alright, I honestly don't know where else to go with this video. So that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. Don't stop, let's just keep voting. Check out the store down below. Really appreciate you guys supporting me. And I am going to legit go get some food, go get some boba, and yeah, let me know if you guys want more of these in-car videos. I think the only time I'll do in-car videos is when I'm talking about something like a topic. So if you guys want me to talk about a certain topic, drop it down below, and you know, I'll take into consideration. Peace out, guys. Don't let others, just keep building. And AC, boys. Man, I love AC.